drawing, and he combined these two passions in his talk, Drawing for Understanding. Please welcome Gabriele Ferretti.
Take any event that you're interested in, anything at all, just take a moment to think about it. Now imagine this being all you had to learn about the event. You wouldn't be very interested in it, would you? On the other hand, try to imagine seeing it. Imagine being there. It becomes much more interesting than that, doesn't it? Open up any history textbook or any Wikipedia page, and what you'll find is a bunch of facts and numbers. It might be great for scholars, but for most people, a bunch of facts put into words just isn't interesting. Now, let's say we took a different approach to understanding history, drawing. For this, I'll use an example from the First World War. More specifically, I'll take a battle between the Russians and the Germans in the year 1915. Nowadays, this battle is referred to as the Attack of the Dead Men. But just going on Wikipedia doesn't really tell you much. If you pull up the article on this battle, this is what you'll see. The battle started August 6, 1915, in a fort in modern-day Poland between 7,000 Germans and 100 Russians. This battle ended with a Russian victory, and this is certainly an impressive victory, fighting off so many Germans with so few men. But this alone isn't what makes this battle special, what makes this one of the most unique and interesting battles of the First World War. And for me personally, this isn't what really got me interested in the topic. Only when I tried sketching it out did it spark my interest. Now, I decided to draw out what happened step by step. This allowed me to easily visualize the occurrences of the battle. Now, it differs depending on which account you go off of, but remains is. Austerlitz Fortress was a large Russian fort active during the First World War. Such forts proved near impossible to take during this war, and so instead of using traditional methods, the Germans decided to use poison gas. Now, let me quickly show you the uniforms of each of the side soldiers. As you might notice, the Russians have no gas mask, and so when the Germans used the gas, they were completely unprepared. This was devastating for the soldiers. The gas burned up the lungs and other insides of the soldiers, causing them to cough it up. It caused the grass on the ground to turn black and the leaves on the trees to turn yellow. Birds and bugs would lie dead scattered across the fields. And so the Germans, seeing this, marched forward expecting absolutely no resistance. Yet they were greeted with this. The Russian soldiers rose out of their fences, dying covered in blood and rags, and started marching towards the Germans. This was absolutely a horrifying sight. They looked like, and almost were, dead men marching directly towards them. Out of pure shock and fear, the Germans retreated, and the near-dead men fought one final battle just before meeting their fates. Now, this battle for me not only illustrated more clearly what this battle looked like, but also made it a lot more interesting. And for you yourself, you can see that. Just a few of your sketches brought this from a little interesting tidbit in history to something a lot bigger. And this doesn't necessarily only apply to history. According to a 2018 study, there are three main ways to draw something, to learn something, sorry. Those being motoric, pictorial, and elaborative. Now these ways are fine on their own to learn something, but they are most effective when combined together, and this is where drawing comes in. Drawing combines all three of these learning methods into one. When you draw something, you have to see something and you have to think of it in many different ways to be able to draw it. And this engages your brain much more and makes learning much more effective. And drawing can be used for just about anything. Say you're a more STEM-oriented person. You could draw, say, a diagram of a cell or some kind of powered machinery. I'd much rather see a diagram of a diesel engine than have it explained to me word for word. And it doesn't really even take any skill. All it really takes is just to pick up a pencil and draw something. It may not be very obvious, but in my opinion, drawing is the most useful, almost quintessential tool for understanding just about anything in the world around us. Thank you.